All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to episode 11 of the Knit State of Mind podcast. We are coming here from Oakland, California. My name is Wanda, and you can find me as Zest and Class on Instagram and as wattywat on Ravelry, and our group page is Knit State of Mind on Ravelry.
And I'm Heather, and you can find me on Ravelry as heathertee and on Instagram as heathertee3.
So we're switching it up a little bit. I'm outside today. I hear some singing in the background, but hopefully it's not picking up too much on that. I think Heather has a new arrangement going on as well.
Yeah, I tried to get it so there wasn't like a big glow in the background like there was last time. So,
yeah. Well,
yeah.
Trial and error, this shelter in place and Zooming and showing our podcasts while the shelter is in place. So we'll, maybe we'll get the perfect arrangement. Maybe we'll continue experimenting over time. We'll see.
I feel like as soon as we get the perfect arrangement, we're going to be allowed to see each other again. And in that case, it's a win-win anyway,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. It's kind of fun figuring out where to record from too. So it's all good.
Definitely. I was joking with some people at work the other day about what tech experts everyone is going to be after all of this.
Seriously, it's so true.
From 5-year-olds all the way up through everyone else.
Yep, making a difference. Yeah. All right, well, we have some cool content for you all this week. We'll talk a little bit more about the Summer Ready Make-Along. Hope you all have gotten started on that. And yeah, we have, I think, well, you're wearing a finished object and I'm wearing a finished object. So you want to kick us off, Heather, or?
Sure. I know. I'm so excited to see yours. And I know I've been kind of texting pictures and posting a little on Instagram about mine, but this is my twigs. It's finally finished.
I'm so thrilled.
I'm so excited. It came out, I could not have come out better. One sleeve might be a tiny bit bigger than the other, but it's like not that noticeable. So I'm like, it's fine. So yeah, I'm just in love with it. I mean, I love the colors I picked. The gauge actually came out spot on. I actually thought it was going to be a little bigger than the pattern schematic, but once I blocked it, I measured it and it's like 56 inches and I think it's supposed to be 55 or something. So it came out so perfect. So I'll stand up and show you the full view of it.
It's awesome!
So it's so awesome. And because I used the Jamieson and Smith yarn, it's super light. Like the whole thing is only, I think, like 450 or 500, not even 500 grams.
Nice.
And it's going to be kind of hard to see. I'll try to get close, but you can see, like, look how perfectly the sleeve and the body pattern match up.
Wow.
It's just amazing. I'm just in love with it. And it took me, I think, a little over like I think I was, well, actually, let me look it up because I keep notes. I started it in February and finished it last week. So it took me almost 3 months, like 2.5 months to make it. But I also took some breaks because it was hurting my hands a little bit for a while. So I knit it on a size 1 needle. For those of you who might be new, haven't seen the saga of the twigs. So I knit it on a size 1, I think it was a Chaogu metal needle. And at its biggest point here, before you split for the sleeves, it's like 400 and something stitches. So it was a labor of love, but I'm so happy with it.
You better wear the hell out of that sweater. That needs to be Heather's favorite sweater.
So I'm definitely, yeah, I mean, it's getting a little bit warm now to wear that frequently, but it is actually like right now I'm wearing it. I actually have, the other thing about it is I was expecting this yarn to be a little itchier because it is like the pure Shetland wool. But it's really not. Like I have a long sleeve t-shirt under it right now only because I'm worried I'm going to get too hot and have to take it off partway through the episode. But I definitely had been trying it on with just a t-shirt under it and it felt fine. So I do think it's more of like a 3-season, like anytime the temperature is below 70, I probably can wear it.
Seriously, particularly in the Bay Area, there's always evenings and mornings.
Yeah.
Appropriate, right?
Yeah.
And it's fingering weight, but I guess there's some color work, but yeah.
Yeah, it's fingering weight, but there's color work all the way through, so it's basically a double layer. So here's the floats if anyone's interested.
Show those floats.
So it I did not trap my floats at all. So there are some places, let me see if I can find one easily. It's more down here. There are some places like down in this section where the float is like 18 stitches long.
Wow.
But I decided not to trap them because it was showing through a little bit on the right side. And I just knew I would not be happy with it if there was that little blip of red showing where it was supposed to be neutral. So I just really made sure to like space out my stitches and keep the floats loose, and it blocked out fine. I mean, it's not like puffy at all. So.
Interesting. I assumed you had to catch your floats, but you don't have to. It doesn't mess up how it looks.
I mean,
it depends if it improves it or if it worsens it, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the reason to trap the floats are in something like a mitten if you don't want to be catching your hand on it when you're putting it on, right? Mm-hmm. And I do have to be a little careful when putting the sleeves on because those same super long floats are right here in the sleeve. But other than that, the only reason is gauge, right? Because if you're not careful, it can really pucker up if you don't trap your floats.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's really, you don't hear that?
I don't hear it.
I hope that doesn't pick up on camera. He is yelling, Happy Mother's Day. Church. Mother's Day church. Anyway, sorry, I'm so distracted.
Well, happy Mother's Day to everyone. We should have said that at the outset.
It'd be interesting to play this back. Okay.
Yeah.
So the sleeves you have to be careful on.
Yeah. But to me, if you have, I mean, I've knit enough color work that I don't tend to get puckering. So as long as I'm careful about it, I usually don't trap the flows unless I'm making a mitten.
Yeah, you have the skills. Okay.
Okay. Well, let me hear about the Bellis.
I can't wait to see it in person though. But
yeah.
So another finished object. So I am wearing my Bellis Tee. It's by Lark from Fiber Tales. You've seen this the last few podcasts, but it's finally done. And it's perfect for this weather. It's actually pretty fitting that I'm outside right now. So it was named after the Bellis flower. Again, it's knit with BC Garn Allino on a US 2.5 needle. This is 50% cotton and 50% linen. And at first I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about the color, but it's totally in a natural color scheme, right?
Yeah.
So I'll stand up. So it's a cropped tee. And I knit it 3 centimeters longer than the pattern called for, which didn't do that much. And it shrunk, I want to say it shrunk a little bit when it blocked, but I have on high-waisted jeans, so it's okay. So you can see.
Oh, it looks great. I like that length.
It's good, right?
Yeah, with the high-waisted jeans, it's great.
And then I won't show you too much, but here's the back side. So as you can see, it's knit from the bottom up, and it has this folded hem. And I was a little bit afraid as I went. I texted Heather because it wasn't completely aligned all the way through, and I almost scrapped the project or start it over. And I was like, maybe it'll block out. So it blocked out and it looks totally fine. So knit from the bottom up. And you see it has the ribbing on the neckline, the ribbing here. There's a part where you start knitting in pieces, the front and the back separately, and then you rejoin it. And then she has two versions of the Bellis Tee. One is cropped, one is regular length, and then the cropped one also has this faux button placket. And so, I don't know, I think these buttons mix in really well as well. They have a little specks on it that blends in with this color quite perfectly. So it worked out.
It did. It's amazing. It's awesome. I love it. It came out so great.
Thank you. And no, my gauge was a tiny bit off. I think it was 2 stitches, had 2 stitches more than what it called for. But I think because of the sizing, it actually worked out to be the perfect size for me with that gauge. So I am very happy with it.
Yeah, I actually just put it in my queue also. When I saw yours getting close to being done, I was like, okay, I need to
definitely knit it. You should definitely knit it. It's fingering weight yarn, except this one is listed online as like DK, but I don't know if something happens with it being cotton linen because it's the same gauge as a fingering weight gauge. And her second version, she knit with fingering weight yarn because she wanted. I was a tester for this, by the way.
Right.
So she encouraged the testers to play around with different yarns as well. So.
And I wanted to ask you, actually, I meant to ask you last time we recorded, what was the process of test knitting like?
That was a new experience for me. I think there were some points of anxiety, particularly when she started checking in with us and asking about our progress and asking us to post photos. So it wasn't until I had made a lot of progress that I posted my first photo. But I felt useful. There were things she needed tips on, particularly in terms of just like English translation. And I want to say I offered like 2 suggestions that she went with. And so I was like, oh, I have something to contribute. So at the end, though there were moments of anxiety, I appreciated the process. She ended up releasing the pattern a bit early, but I actually would have finished it by the time that she released it, but I took a week off from knitting because my hands were cramping up. So I lost some ground on it. So the question I've been mulling over is whether or not I would do it again.
Yeah, and would you?
I kind of think I will, but I'll try to get a better feel for what I'm getting myself into.
Yeah.
And like time management. So I saw this online and I was like, I want it. She's asking for testers. I get to get my hands on it a lot sooner if I test knit for it. But it was more involved than you may have thought this would have been. Like,
right.
I folded hem's work, picking up stitches to add on the faux placket. It's a fingering weight gauge, so it takes a little bit of time. And then the construction is interesting as well. So when you look at it, it's not always as straightforward. But in the end, I will say, too, that it's pretty beginner friendly.
Yeah.
And a couple of different strategies or techniques that you learn along the way that are totally doable for beginners. And she also posts videos about critical components. So I appreciate that too.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay, I can't hear that now.
You can hear the background.
I can hear it now, yeah. But I can hear you above it, so I wouldn't worry.
I just want to make sure it's not distracting from our audience, and I'm trying my best to ignore it.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering about the test knitting because I test knit some like fingerless mitts years and years and years ago. And that's the only time I've ever done it. And I've always been hesitant to do it because I'm so bad about meeting deadlines. I'm just like, especially for a garment that takes so long to knit, like I just know myself and I know I would like reach a point where I didn't want to keep working on it for some reason and then I would be stressed out. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it works either way, right? It stresses you out or causes anxiety, or it can be motivating,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
So,
now you get to wear that beautiful top all summer long.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
Should we remind them of the summer cow? Maybe this will motivate some folks.
Definitely.
You want to talk about it, or?
Sure. So we're having a summer make along. And that's basically it. Make something for summer. So we have a thread up in our Ravelry group. Wanda already finished her first project, and maybe there might be another one coming.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be showing something in a little bit that I started for our summer make along. So I don't remember, what's the hashtag?
Summer ready
That's,
summer ready MAL. Summer
yes.
ready make along. So knit, crochet, sewn objects. I'm down to see it all.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest. So share what you're working on, share your FOs. It's all going to be in the same thread. Someone posted that they're making, this is motivating them to make the rift.
I saw that, yeah.
But it's an oversized boxy tee.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. So
I've been wanting to make that one forever too, because I really like that designer. So that's on my short list.
Nice. Yeah. So we're running through June 20th, the first day of summer, but who knows, we might keep it going too. But
Yeah. So knit all, and the great thing about summer tops is that they knit up so fast.
yeah.
I mean, even if you do it in fingering weight yarn, it's still, I read somewhere a while ago that sleeves typically are a third. I read it in the context I was making something and I was worried I was running out of yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And they say sleeves are a third of the amount of yardage for your project if you knit long sleeves.
Yeah.
So when you're making a summer top and you don't need long sleeves,
Yeah.
third less knitting.
Heck yeah. Summer tops or short sleeve tops might become my jam for that reason.
Yeah.
You technically, depending on the design, could wear those year round out here. So.
Well, and I was just, the other day I ordered some like really thin turtlenecks to wear underneath. I have a couple short sleeve, like boxier knitted tops. And I was like, well, if I just get a little turtleneck to wear under it, I can wear it all year round.
Yes, that totally works.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get those short sleeveless tops going.
All right, let's do it. Do you have any other FOs?
No other FOs. I have, what, do you have more FOs?
I have more FOs.
Okay, give us the FOs.
Okay.
I'm close to FO.
Okay. So first of all, let's just take a minute to guess whether or not this is an FO.
It's an FO. If this is an FO, I'm gonna go nuts.
Not an FO. Okay. Don't even want to talk about that. Okay, so
I'm gonna give us a status update.
I just need to finish weaving in all those ends. I have like 20 hexies left that need the ends woven in, so
that's progress.
Taking it slow. Okay, but these are finished.
Woo woo.
These are the Grove Mittens by Jared Flood. It's a Brooklyn tweed pattern.
Love them.
So it's got a little bit of cabling here on the cuff. The rest of it is actually, I guess it doesn't really look like lace, but it is lace because it's decreases and yarn overs with twisted stitches.
Oh.
And then the palm is just twisted stitches. Sorry for all the waving. Yeah, so I knit these out of Knitpicks City Tweed DK, some leftover yarn I had from a sweater I made last year at around this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I had finished one of them way back in like, I don't know, November or something. Yeah, and now I just, the other one took me, the left one is the one I had done before. I made the right one, cast it on yesterday and finished it up.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No way.
It's super fast. I mean, it's DK. It's only 52 stitches circumference. So this chart has like 50 rows, I want to say.
Okay.
So 50 times 50.
It's almost like knitting a hat.
Yeah, I would say it's a similar amount. Yeah, the two of them together are probably a similar amount of knitting as a hat.
Oh, the two of them is this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Because if you think about the circumference of this,
yeah.
you know, a hat would definitely be that deep, but it's much wider, obviously.
Yeah. So it's two of those. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That makes sense then.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah, they're done. I mean, obviously I'm not going to wear them for a while because it's getting to be spring and summer, but I was like, I need to get, you know, our other make along, Clear the Needles 2020. I hadn't finished because that stupid blanket's still not done. I hadn't finished anything for a long time. So, and I have my, I brought my notebook over because I have my list in the back of my, this is my notebook where I keep all my notes about my whips. And in the back, I have my list of all the things I'm trying to clear the needles.
yeah.
Right over them with a nice red marker saying done when I'm done. And I needed that victory on Clear the Needles. So.
Yeah. Another one down.
Another one down.
Is coming soon too.
Yeah, the blanket's coming soon.
Does the pattern call for DK or is it worsted? Or does it matter?
It's both. So basically, if you want, like, I have pretty small hands, so if you want a smaller size, you use DK, and if you want a larger size, you use worsted, but it's the same pattern.
Because I was thinking of using, I have one skein of Brooklyn Tweed shelter left from my cardigan. Oh, but I gotta check the yardage. It's probably not enough.
It might be. So this took, I want to say it took like, it did take slightly more than one 50-gram ball of this yarn. But this yarn is a little heavier per yard than Brooklyn Tweed shelter would be because it's a worsted spun, not a woolen spun. Yeah. So I want to say this took like 58 grams of this yarn. But
I'll check that. Yeah, I love those.
Yeah, and I already have plans. I want to make some. I still have some more of that pink yarn that I'm from my Lilano and my or Lilana and my cowl. Yep. And I was thinking I could make some matching mittens to the cowl.
Yep. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Heck yeah.
And you know, if you wanted to make a child size, you probably could just do fingering weight. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's one size fit. The pattern is one pattern, but you can change the yarn weight to adjust the size, basically.
Right. Yeah. It would be hard to change the chart because the chart is like very specific to like the decreases happen right at the place in the pattern where it needs to happen. So I think it would be hard to like eliminate rows from the chart.
Yeah.
But you could change the gauge. Yeah.
I wonder if I could get away with sport weight.
Maybe. I mean, these fit me pretty much exactly. Like my fingertips are definitely right at the end of them. They could probably be like half an inch longer. But
anyway, yeah. But I want to make those at some point, and I'm trying to figure out a way to do it without buying more yarn.
Yeah. So that's my other FO. That's it.
I love them.
Yeah. What's your almost FO?
So my almost FO is something that's made quite a few appearances here. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. It's so close.
It's all done. I don't know how the lighting's doing.
It's showing up. I think the colors are showing up pretty well.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think it's a little better when you stand back, actually. Yeah, that looks good to me.
Stand back without falling?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can wind it. Probably
not. Oh, it looks great. That's going to be so cozy.
Actually, a little chilly out. So
yeah.
Kind of perfect. Check it out.
Yes.
So I'll keep it on while I talk about it. I don't really have much to say because you all have heard about it and you're familiar with it. The Nightshift by, oh wait, let me stand up with it on. It goes well with my shirt.
It does. You can tell it's your color palette.
Okay, So this is the Nightshift by Andrea Mowry. She has quite a few patterns that have this blip situation going on, big blips, little blips. It's knit with worsted weight yarn. And what else? Worsted weight yarn. I use Wool of the Andes worsted weight. I definitely wanted a cheaper version. When I did the math for if you use the suggested yarn, it's $180. I don't remember how much this was. Probably no more than 30 bucks.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of yarn colors that I liked and then kind of figured it out as I went. And you all know I was hesitant along the way. I think I like it. I particularly am liking it on. I think my least favorite part isn't even visible with it like this. So yeah, I think I want to make another one at some point and plan it out a bit better. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But we're both going. I have the shifty on the needles. Heather's going to make that. So maybe the shifty will kind of, that little itch or bug.
Right. Yeah.
That might kind of feed that itch. Does that make sense? Anyway.
Yeah, exactly, because it's the same pattern basically, just with different shaping.
And it's an I-cord bind off. So you're doing an I-cord the whole time along the way, but I love how she, it just continues. Mm-hmm. So no yarn string left undone. And I really love the look of the I-cord bind off. The I-cord bind off, it takes a little bit of time, but it's a lot of fun to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see here, I realize I'm like, it seems like I have an affinity for cow. Here I am again with these cow colors. But yeah, that's my Nightshift. I don't know if I have anything else to say. I think after I weave in the ends and block it, it'll be a lot more drapey, right? So
yeah, it definitely will be drapier after you block it.
Yeah.
I love the I-cord bind off too. I sometimes even do it on things that don't call for it. Like I've done it on blankets before just to like give a nice finish or
yeah, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
So pretty. So yeah, my Nightshift. So when we're done, I don't know. Being ambitious. I need to weave in the ends and block it.
But that's not too much. That can easily get done.
Yeah, and there actually aren't as many ends as I anticipated this thing having, so.
Yeah, well, it's nothing compared to that crochet blanket.
Oh, Lord. My hat goes off to you with the crochet blanket, for sure.
I was thinking about picking up Plumpy again as my next, like, whip for Clear the Needles, and it has a whole bunch of ends on it, too, because I'm doing it with scraps, and so I was like, I don't know how I can do it.
At some point, but you got to get yourself mentally ready to take it.
Yeah.
Knowing the straps are coming.
Yeah.
The loose ends are coming. So yeah, that's my almost FO.
You're almost awesome. Well, I have two whips that I've been working on.
Okay.
So the first one, that's not what I thought it was, but we'll start with this one. This first one is for our summer make-along.
Woo, I've been waiting to see what this is.
And this is the knitted Peplum top by, this is just like ends that I'm saving in case I need to change it, but well, whatever. Anyways, it's the knitted Peplum top by Morgan Woltersdorf, who's More Thunder on Instagram. In Ravelry, and I just saw, I think a while ago, a few weeks ago or a month ago or something, Dana Williams Johnson, who writes for Mason Dixon Knitting, had posted a thing about summer tops, and I'm pretty sure she had this one on there, and I think I've seen it on her Instagram before. She's called me DWJ on Instagram.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And it's knit with the pattern is with an Aran weight. So I had kind of written it off because I don't have any Aran weight yarn really. And I thought an Aran weight for summer, like, do I really want that? But then I realized, I saw it again on the designer's Instagram the other day. And I was like, you know what? I really need that top. So it fits like pretty close up, like sort of empire waist type, and then it flares out in a peplum.
Great color.
Perfect color. So this is actually DK weight yarn. So what I did, this is Juniper Moon Farm Nev yarn that I got on sale somewhere at some point. And it's 100% cotton.
Ooh.
And I downloaded the pattern and looked at the numbers and how it was constructed, and then basically just figured out what gauge. I measured another sweater I have made out of this yarn, and I figured out what gauge I would get. And then it's pretty simple construction. So it's just knit from the bottom up, and then you shape the neckline, and then you pick up around here to make the peplum. So I just figured out how many stitches I needed to cast on to get the circumference I needed for my bust, and then
perfect.
Went for it.
It's a V-neck?
It's a V-neck, yeah, and this like extra string is just shouldn't be there. It's driving me nuts, but I can't figure out how to get rid of it right now. So yeah, it's a V-neck, sleeveless top.
Nice. That's gonna be so cute. I mean, it's already cute. You're done, yeah?
I'm excited. I'm almost done. So it's supposed to have 12 inches of this peplum, and I have like 3 inches right now. So it's just knitting around and around. I might stop when I get to like 9 inches or so and try it on and see how long I want it to be.
Yeah.
But it's super, super easy pattern. It's actually designed to be knit in pieces. So you knit the front piece and the back piece and sew them together, but I just combined it and knit it all in the round.
Got it. Yeah. I think that's going to be so, so cute. Perfect.
Yeah. Yes.
Summer, to be summer ready. Perfect.
So anyway, that's my summer ready make along.
Number one.
Also, this bag has my unicorn pin on it, which I love. It's a little unicorn with a rainbow. And then this is my Gioia, I don't know how you pronounce it, cardigan by Courtney Spainhower.
Yeah. That
I did all the swatches for last time. So I have now finished one front. I'm having
crazy
issues. So finished the one, I think this is the right front. Yeah. So I finished this front, and then I'm working on the other front. So you can see it has this loop stitch and this texture.
Oh yeah, that is so cool.
And I'm so pleased that I decided to use this yarn for this pattern, because I really like how the loop stitch looks with the variegation.
It worked out.
Yeah. This loop stitch almost killed me, because I watched several videos about how to do it, and it involves using your thumb to like trap the loop. But because of how I knit, because of how I hold my yarn, it was really like neither of my thumbs could really like get in there to trap the loop. So I ended up using my index finger and just kind of like pulling it out a little bit farther, and they're not as even as they might be if I was always using my thumb, but
yeah,
good job done.
I'm curious about this loop stitch. Huh.
Yeah, and then this is I'm about ready to start the loop stitch section on this front. Nice. And then once you're done, you kind of like, I think you pick up along here for both of the fronts, and then you somehow like decrease to make the back. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Instruction, so.
And that's fingering weight, yeah?
It's DK.
DK.
The pattern is actually a worsted weight pattern, but I'm making a bigger size.
Yeah.
And then it's going to have an I-cord bind off also.
Heck yeah. Team I-cord bind off.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah, so that's it. I feel like it seems like I haven't worked on very much in 3 weeks, but I guess.
What? You finished your twigs. What the hell? You have. That's plenty much.
Yeah.
I have
You have something secret that I haven't seen.
I have a whip. So check me out. I'm now participating in Clear the Needles 2020. So remember we did that whip parade? Did you see this?
I did. I already guessed that that's what it was. I was thinking about what it was going to be.
What is it?
It's I don't remember the name of it, but it's the Poison Girls pattern.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I picked up, I don't know, I should have checked. I haven't reviewed anything when I started this, but probably a year ago, and then I messed up, put it down. It's the Rizzo.
Rizzo, that's right.
Raven Girls. Do I have the thing in here? It's knit with Malabrigo, this gorgeous color. What color is it?
Do you think we like that color?
Do we like it? Yes. Like teal much? So cute. Dang, what the heck? I do have the tag. Oh, it's here. Malabrigo teal feather.
Okay.
And I remember this was my first time going to Black Squirrel. And
okay.
Yeah, one of our local yarn shops. You went with me.
I did. That's right. I do. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I picked out this yarn, this teal.
Yeah.
So anyway, Rizzo, Poison Girls. I had one stitch too many. So it's interesting what a year does, because I picked this back up, reviewed the pattern for like an hour, and I was like, I got this. Just sit that long for nothing. But it's also a testament to how much we learn unconsciously or subconsciously, because like I knew how to revive this after, I mean, it did take me like an hour doing the numbers, reviewing the pattern. And so I'm back in business. I just transferred these to shorter needles, so it's scrunched right now, but I'm able to go faster on these needles. I can't fully remember what the start of the pattern was like, but I remember knitting the back and then picking up stitches and knitting the front and knitting it in parts initially and then joining it. And I just recently joined the front and the back. I already know, but I'm hoping I can do some vigorous
locking. Yeah.
This armhole is
tight.
Small. It's too small for me, but I think the blocking will help out. My gauge is a half a stitch too many. And I believe I remember Malabrigo, their sock yarn growing as well. So I'm banking on that. Wanda's gonna keep working on this.
Yeah.
It'll be a present to someone else, because when I'm on a roll, you don't want me to put things down again.
No, you gotta keep up that momentum. I mean, it's definitely gonna, superwash yarn grows so much, especially in the length.
Yeah.
You're gonna definitely get like at least half an inch to an inch.
Yeah. That's what I'm banking on. So we'll see. Knock on wood. Hopefully that works out. So yeah, this is also for the summer ready make along. It's a short sleeve top. And again, it's the Rizzo Beauty School. I think her name is Amy. And I need to find more patterns. I
love that texture.
I love seed stitch. So that's seed stitch. And then there are these little eyelets going down, and they'll meet in the center to make a V. So I think that's super gorgeous. It's interesting too, because I don't know, just keeping up with the seed stitch and the yarn overs and all of that. It's like, knock on wood, it hasn't phased me since I picked this back up. So I know I've kind of grown some when I first started this. But yeah, there were some, you were doing like 3 different things initially, like short rows, the decreases, there were decreases, the eyelets, keeping track of the seeds.
But I like that construction though, because then it's not a lot it's like a lot of work at the beginning.
Yes.
But then at the end, you bind off and you're done. Like Andy Satterlund's patterns are like that too.
Yep.
There's like all kinds of fiddly stuff and lots of ends at the beginning, but then once you get going, you're cruising.
And I'll be done with the eyelets and the seed stitch pretty soon. And then it's just stockinette in the round and decreases.
Yeah.
And
are you alternating skeins?
I know I should, but I'm not. And one of the reasons, it's okay.
Yeah.
The pattern takes I can't remember exactly, but it's going to be 550 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only going to go 100 yards into the other skein, and that might be the ribbing on the bottom and the sleeves.
And the sleeves, that's perfect.
So I'm banking on that.
Yeah. That should work. And if it looks like you're not going to make it, you can start alternating when you start the stockinette part, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So far, I mean, we'll see though, but I'm a lazy knitter. I know.
I mean, we all take shortcuts, right? It's like you can't do everything perfectly. And usually it works out. I think that'll work out because then you'll just be able to do the ribbing and then it won't be as noticeable. Or even if it is noticeable, it'll look like you did it on purpose, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I was supposed to start the decreases already, but I think I'm a little off in terms of, row gauge? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to wait to start the decreases. Probably I'll wait until the eyelets are done. Mm-hmm. And then I think I'm going to start the decreases and knit it longer. It's another cropped top, but particularly because it's negative ease, I want to go longer.
Yeah.
I'm going to go longer.
Yeah.
I want it cropped. So
I wonder if it might be worth blocking it before you get to the ribbing because it does grow so much in length probably if it's superwash.
Ooh.
So you can get a more accurate picture of what length it's going to be.
Yeah, that's a good tip. I'll probably do that if I'm not feeling lazy.
Because I forgot to say that about my Summer Ready, my knitted peplum top, is that I blocked the top of that. Whoa. Before I added the peplum. Yeah. I actually, because it's bound off, so it was easy. So I blocked the top to make sure it was the right size before I added the skirt onto it, because otherwise, that way it's just easier.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll do that. Most likely. Yeah. So I'm clearing the needles too. Hey.
Awesome. So what are your plans for the next few weeks knitting wise?
Right now I'm in this mode of the gratification of wrapping up things that I have, and they're interesting me. So I'm going to weave in those ends on the Nightshift, block it, finish up. I'm going to work on the Rizzo and finish the Rizzo, and then I'm undecided, to be honest, which is so different from our last podcast. Mm-hmm. I know eventually I want to swatch Mark's sweater, but he also was like, well, I'm not going to wear it during the summer, so he's not hard pressed. I'm like, yes. It's something I'm going to work on over time. I'm contemplating picking the Shifty back up, and then I know I want to get going on another top for Summer Ready. Mm-hmm. So I might pick the Minaret back up. Mm-hmm. Or I'm debating using that yarn to make a ripple crop top. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because she just keeps coming out with more. And I'm like, I need to make one of these things. There's a romper.
There's a romper now?
Yes. I don't know if she released the pattern, but she definitely posted a picture of it.
I do love a good romper.
I love rompers. Short romper. So we'll see. Something like that, though.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know. I'm kind of trying to figure out now that I'm kind of done with, I have those two sweaters, so I'll try to finish both of those. And then I want to pick out some other things to clear the needles. I think I'm going to try and finish a few of the smaller things that I have in my whip pile, socks and stuff like that. And then I'm torn because I'm kind of wanting to cast on Shifty or one of the other sweater, like long sleeve sweaters that I have the yarn already to go and the pattern for and everything. But then I'm like, but I'm not really going to wear those because it's getting warm. So I think I'm going to reskein that silk yarn for the pin tuck top.
Yep.
Maybe try and get started on that once I finish, because the orange top is going to be done quite soon. So yeah.
That seems good to go. Yeah, I feel you though. That's the dilemma, working on summer ready items versus long sleeves, because it's nice to be able to put on what you finish.
Yeah, it is. And I love, so Stash Dash, I think, is probably coming up. I actually haven't watched the Knit Girls podcast in a while, but they always do something every summer called Stash Dash, where you try to like finish as many of your projects as you can. And use up as much of your stash as you can it's usually between Memorial Day and sometime in August. And so I need to go look in their Ravelry group and see if they're doing that again this year, because that usually motivates me to like crank through all the stuff that's almost done, because it's like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's competitive to meet the goal of Stash Dash.
Yeah, those things they're motivating. Yeah, for sure. So hey, we're open, we have tentative plans, and then we're open to change.
Yeah, you never know. You never know what we might pop out with next time.
Indeed. All right. I think that's it.
Yeah.
So that's it. Just thanks for hanging out with us, continuing to build and be a part of our community. So if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe so we can just continue to grow. Like, comment. We want to know who's out there. We see that you're watching. Who are you? What are you working on?
Join our Ravelry group and post some pictures of how you're clearing the needles or the summer ready tops that you're making.
Yes. And so we will be back in a couple of weeks. So until then, hope you all are well and just enjoying life.
And we'll see you soon.
All right.
Okay. Bye.